Come along with us as we explore San Francisco. Sea lines at Pier 39, a stay at the historic Beacon Grand, brunch, Dragon Gate, some unexpected gems along the way, and even a ride in a Waymo. Union Square has been the heart of downtown San Francisco for over 150 years. It was named for the pro-union rallies held there during the Civil War, and over time it's become known for its high-end shops, theaters, and some of the city's biggest events. While doing research for our trip to San Francisco, I ran across a lot of people saying the city was in decline, but that wasn't our experience at all. What we found were beautiful public places, natives that are proud of their city, blooming flowers, art displays, and Union Square was the heart of it all. We felt the bustle of a big city, people shopping and chatting, and playing ping pong in the park. There was music, laughter, and life everywhere we went. Welcome to the Beacon Grand Hotel, formerly the legendary Sir Francis Drake Hotel, which first opened in 1928 with 26 stories of luxury and cutting-edge amenities, like ice water in every room, radios in each suite, and even secret rooms. Designed by Weeks and Day in a Renaissance-inspired style, the two-story lobby wowed guests with vaulted gold leaf ceilings, hand-painted murals, French and Italian marble, and its grand staircase. And it still wows guests today. Over the years and decades, it evolved. Speakeasies and Prohibition-era hidden bars, a roaring nightclub in the Starlight Room, and even bullet holes left in the ceiling from a celebratory incident. It changed hands, Hilton, Westin, Kimpton, but in 2021, the Drake was sold, renamed, and given a top-to-bottom refresh. It reopened in June of 2022 as the Beacon Grand under Northview Hotel Group. And the Northview Hotel Group took great care to restore much of what was original. The magnificent staircase, ceilings, mezzanine, murals, wood panel walls, ironwork, and chandeliers were meticulously restored, and other spaces like the Starlight Lounge and rooms were reimagined. The underutilized mezzanine became the chic new bar lounge area in that fabulous blue-gray color with comfy chairs and live music. And all those gorgeous flowers you see draped everywhere, that's the Union Square in Bloom initiative, on display from March through August. Local florists and the Union Square Alliance team up to install the floral decor and host Tulip Day. All in all, it's a beautiful blend of historical grandeur and thoughtful modern touches. Up next, a room tour. I am so excited to give you guys a room tour of the Beacon Grand in San Francisco. I know when I Googled the Beacon Grand, I was super excited to learn about the history. There weren't a whole lot of YouTube videos that could show you the room. So I'm super excited to share this with you. And one thing I just learned downstairs, and so you've already seen the lobby and stuff, and you're about to see the Starlight lounge upstairs that I got a private tour of. So I'm super excited about that. But they kept, they had to keep a lot of the historical aspects from the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, which is what this was before, but they redid all the rooms. So anyway, come with me. Let's look at our room. So, we do have a desk, which we have loved. And then right here, you have a refrigerator. I also love that. They put up this lovely paneling look, and they painted it this lovely blue color that I cannot love enough. The beds are so comfortable. They're so comfortable. Okay. So, we also have a wonderful view. Come look at this. Look at that down there. We have the diner, and then if you scoot over this way, you can see right up the hill, which I cannot love enough because the trolley comes right down there, which I love. Of course, we have the TV and everything. You'll have to excuse all of we're working hard to make sure we can pack everything out to leave. Okay, let's go to the bathroom because it's fabulous. Okay. Are you ready? And I'm just sliding. And a full-size mirror right there, which I love. Okay, in the bathroom, there is all this amazing gold. There is lots of hot water. And come in here. Look at all. It's so fabulous. And the tub, so the tub is super deep. Let's just go ahead and kind of like we're at the Chelsea. Yay! So there's not a pool, but this bathtub is super deep, plenty of hot water, and all their amenities smell amazing. So anyway, that is our tour. That concludes our tour of the Beacon Grand, and oh, I can't love it enough. Brunch is big in San Francisco, and we definitely didn't want to miss out. We headed on over to Lapisara, which came highly recommended, and we got there just in time to miss the huge crowd that was there when we left. That cute teddy bear on Phoenix's matcha is an ice cube, and the lavender mimosa was to die for. The food was incredible, and this is a must visit for anyone traveling to San Francisco. One cool fact we learned is that the city has strict rules limiting chain restaurants. More on that later, though. A visit to the City by the Bay isn't complete without a visit to Dragon Gate and Chinatown. This stunning Pai Fang style gate was proposed back in 1956 to boost foot traffic, but it took over a decade to build. It opened in May of 1970 and was officially dedicated in October with a parade attended by thousands, including Taiwan's vice president. Above the central portal is the saying, "All under heaven is for the good of the people," a saying attributed to Sun Yat-sen, and the other elements such as fish, dragons, and the Chinese guardian lions are thought to collectively represent peace, respect, and communal well-being. San Francisco's Chinatown, which was founded in the early 1850s, is the oldest in America, and it has weathered exclusion laws, riots, and the 1906 earthquake. After Chinatown, we decided to walk to Pier 39, and whoa, it was a hike. But along the way, we stumbled across so many hidden gems that our sore legs were well worth it. And the cool murals we found? Wow. San Francisco has a massive art scene with over 1,000 murals citywide. The city supports organized mural projects like Street Smarts, which works with property owners to commission artwork that beautifies neighborhoods and hopefully deters graffiti. And all that greenery you see, that's not by accident. Guerrilla gardeners. You heard me right, guerrilla gardeners, and I just love saying that. And community groups have filled neglected urban spaces with succulents, which thrive on neglect and in the fog and coastal climate. Now back to the city's strict rules on chain restaurants. San Francisco calls it formula retail, and a business qualifies as a chain if it has 11 or more locations and standardized branding features, meaning most places are locally owned. Pier 39. one of San Francisco's most famous waterfront spots, and whoa, is it busy. The crowd size is wild. But if you want to see the sea lions, and trust me, you absolutely do, you have to brave the people at Pier 39. Opened in 1978 as a shopping center and tourist attraction, it has definitely served its purpose. But even here, the stores and restaurants are locally owned and operated. Along with sea lion watching, which you'll see next, we also visited the Aquarium of the Bay, and that's in our next video, so make sure to subscribe.
That's big chongus right there.
The famous sea lions took up residence after the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, and they haven't left. In fact, San Francisco has embraced them and provided a floating sanctuary. We were visiting during slow season for them, but I hear they can get up to 1,000 visiting at a time. Because I'm who I am, I feel a proper hotel tour isn't complete without some behind-the-scenes magic. So I took a peek inside the ballroom, a private dining space, and I was lucky enough to get an inside view of the Starlight Lounge. The Beacon Grand Ballroom is as grand as it sounds. Restored with care, it still carries the glamour of when it was the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, which opened, as I said before, in 1928. At the hotel's grand opening, more than 10,000 guests attended over 2 days. The event even drew the governor of California and Hollywood celebrities such as Dolores Del Rio and Myrna Loy. The venue became known as a West Coast VIP social hub, hosting high society galas and cultural buzz events that, as Forbes said, would make Gatsby jealous. One of the most famous areas was the Persian Room, and it was intended as a glamorous nightclub-style venue with dining and dancing, and it was dubbed the Snake Pit by San Francisco columnist Herb Kahn, and he famously wrote, "You never heard such hissing or saw such writhing." And let's talk about this ceiling. It was hand-painted by artist W.F. Bergman. The restoration uncovered and restored these ceilings and the decorative moldings that had been painted over or hidden for decades. These historical features were carefully preserved and refreshed, reinforcing the hotel's architectural lineage while letting the artwork shine through. Designers from studios like K-CAD focused on enhancing the Renaissance Revival architecture while retaining the authentic ceiling details, and introduced modern finishes and lighting that let the murals take center stage. Now let's step into what is arguably the crown jewel of the Beacon Grand, the Starlight Lounge. Long before this was a rooftop cocktail bar, this space had a reputation that danced on the edge of elegance and mischief. Back in the day, this was home to the legendary Starlight Room, a glitzy nightclub perched 21 stories above Union Square. From the 1930s through the early 2000s, it was where San Francisco came to let loose. Picture velvet booths, swirling spotlights, and big band sounds echoing through the sky. The Starlight Room became especially famous in the 80s and 90s under the direction of Harry Denton, a nightlife icon who transformed it to a celebrity magnet and a cabaret hotspot. And just look at that view. On weekends, the Starlight Room was packed, and locals and tourists danced the night away with skyline views as their backdrop. If these walls could talk, they would whisper stories of jazz, glamour, and a few too many champagne toasts. But who's counting? Today, the space has been reimagined as the Starlight Lounge, a modern rooftop bar that still honors its roots. The atmosphere is sleeker now and more moody and sophisticated than its predecessor, and it may have traded big bands for curated playlists. But the spirit of celebration is still very much alive, and Velvet is still very much king. Dinner at the Beacon Grand felt like stepping into an old world evening, but with the perfect touch of modern. We grabbed a cozy pub-style table for two by a window and ordered. The Caesar salad was proper, anchovies and all, and every bite was delicious. One thing I loved was the ability to dress casual for dinner. The food tasted like we should be a lot more dressed up than we were. What really made the moment and dinner special was the live pianist singing softly in the background. It felt timeless. A dinner you'd hope to have, but rarely have the opportunity.
Get in, Renee. Get in.
Hello, from Waymo. As we get going, just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding tips.
San Francisco is one of the few cities to have Waymo. It's part of Google's parent company, Alphabet Inc., and their Jaguars. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Make sure to subscribe to see where we end up next.